Welcome. And welcome to the One Williamsburg Holiday Reception. We don't normally do this, but we want to make this a new tradition. But the Williamsburg City County Council is excited to bring back this tradition of a community holiday gathering. Some of you may remember the holiday parties that took place at the Lodge many years ago. The city's vision of One Williamsburg and the idea of a holiday reception to bring the community together are a natural fit, and we are most happy to have you all here amongst each other. I'm happy to see many familiar faces, but I am hopeful that we've taken some time to meet some new folks around us. We sent out invitations to new residents to Williamsburg and invited them to be here so that they can see for themselves what a incredibly engaged, well-informed, active community we are. An award-winning engagement, in fact. In the last year, we have received the state and international recognition for our future festivals, where we gathered input from all of you. As we head into the strategic planning year, we look forward to reaching that level of engagement again. Speaking of awards, the Williamsburg Mace Bearers Award honors individuals and organizations whose positive contributions to the city of Williamsburg deserve this recognition. Williamsburg is distinct, and we wanted an award that reflected that. Williamsburg has its own mace, and it has been around since the late 18th century in various forms. While some cities in colonial America owned maces, very few examples remain today. A partial reconstruction of our mace has long been part of the Colonial Williamsburg's vast collection. Historically, the mace was used as a ceremonial piece to convey the importance of an event or function, not unlike this ceremony today. I would like to now present the mace of the city of Williamsburg. Thank you, Mr. Goldstein, and thank you to the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation for preserving our mace amongst its collections. You're still not going to let me touch it, are you? One day, okay. All right. The Mace Bearer Award honors people who have made a lasting and positive impact on the city of Williamsburg's community. People who have demonstrated creative leadership and have brought about a positive change. And so, I am pleased to announce our second ever recipient of the Williamsburg Mace Bearers Award is Mr. Bobby Braxton. I can think of no one more deserving than Bobby. He grew up in Williamsburg here on Braxton Court. Many of those houses were built by his grandfather. Bobby returned to Williamsburg later in life to advocate for the rehabilitation of the street that bears his grandfather's name. And he didn't stop there. He just kept answering the call for public service. So now I want to share a video that we put together about Bobby to show how and why he's so deserving of this award.
The Williamsburg Mace Bearers Award is kind of like the key to the city. It's City Council's way to recognize a person in the community or a business in the community that has put forth an extra effort to make Williamsburg a special place. Bobby Braxton is an obvious choice for the Mace Bearers Award. You think about all that he's done in his career since coming back to Williamsburg. He was instrumental in the redevelopment of Braxton Court, got involved with City Council. He ran for a seat, was elected. He was still very involved in the Rotary here in town, the Kiwanis Club. But even beyond that, Bobby has been part of the Let Freedom Ring Foundation. He was chair of the first night, which was an alcohol-free event, bringing families together. Community Action Agency was another committee that Bobby played a large role in. But most recently, Bobby chaired the Truth and Reconciliation Committee on behalf of the Williamsburg community, and he did an outstanding job. But even before that, Bobby grew up in Williamsburg. He has a long legacy of having Williamsburg in his blood.
I was not born here because I couldn't be born here. Remember, it was segregated, so there was no place for Black people really to be born, except I'm imagining midwife situations, things like that. I was actually born in Dixie Hospital, get the name, in Hampton, Virginia. I grew up here in Braxton Court. Every house except 3 had children, and we all were raised under the auspices of a group family. That means anybody could get a hold of your butt if you did something wrong. The front doors were never locked. They were always open. People would come to the house, and when they would go knock on the door, go, coming in. Now, let's go back even further. We did not know the history of Braxton Court and why it actually existed.
Braxton Court is one of our historic neighborhoods in the city of Williamsburg. It was a neighborhood that was built by African Americans for African Americans in the first half of the last century. And by the turn of this century, the homes and some of the homes in the court and the infrastructure of the court, it just needed improvement and modernization. So the city was really fortunate to earn a grant of almost $1 million that would help rehabilitate some of the homes there. And then the city also matched that grant to do infrastructure improvements on the court.
And I had to convince a lot of the people to go with the housing authority, because you had to remember way back when there was a very bad taste in the mouth with some folks and they condemned some property around, and some of the people didn't like that, and they were very uneasy about what the city is saying. I come in with my big mouth, and so we got a lot of the people. We still missed maybe 2, but the rest of the people went for it. And the difference is just night and day.
The result was a neighborhood so much improved and so much better for the people who live there and for the city as a whole. He's just been involved in things that are large and things that are small, and he always does it with a positive attitude, and there's always good results when Bobby's involved.
He works on truth and reconciliation. He works on race conversations, coming to the table. Of course, Let Freedom Ring, he's a board member. He actually worked with the Colonial Williamsburg to launch this effort to restore a bell, the Freedom Bell. And so after the president rang the bell in Washington and the bell came home to First Baptist Church and was restored in the steeple, Bobby decided that we needed to have a foundation. And Bobby decided that I was the person that would carry on this torch that he lit for the Let Freedom Ring Foundation. And we all know not to say no to Bobby. So when Bobby assigns us our roles and responsibilities in the community, we pretty much just accept them. Because not only does he do that, but he also finds a way to get it done. He had the vision. He had the vision to lift this foundation off, because he said, everyone needs to know the story of Williamsburg, the forgotten story or the covered up story. And he's a descendant.
The Truth and Reconciliation Committee is one of the most amazing parts of what I believe that the city has done to assess and make a recommendation on harms that have been done that has affected people of different diversity, colors. Bobby was a pivotal part of that, and he became the chair, not by choice. Right? We had to twist his arm a little bit, but he likes being in charge. That was where I really began to get my tutelage and my mentorship from him, is in that role of helping me to understand what the descendant community's plights have been and how it has impacted the socioeconomic fabric of the city, and not only the city, but the historic triangle altogether. Bobby did not allow any of us to hold back from speaking and sharing our truth. He created an atmosphere where it's let's just talk about it.
Bobby has the right temperament to handle chairing such an important committee on behalf of the city. Bobby's level-headed. He doesn't like to waste time getting off topic, and he really kept that committee focused on its goals.
He's really a people person, and he loves to be out there with people. The goal that he has is to be helpful and to do the right thing and to continually improve the city.
You can't bump into Bobby and not see Bobby with a smile. Bobby's always got a warm greeting, kind word, and a piece of advice. You can find him at Aromas.
At Aromas.
At Aromas.
My aromas.
Kind of holding court, talking to various different people.
Bobby is so deserving of the Williamsburg Mace Bears Award because he represents community. He represents civic and social understanding, bridge building, collaboration at its best. And at the same time, he does it in a gentle way. He is like that fixture that if he's not in the room, there's something wrong with the room.
I think that there's not a more appropriate award than Mace Bearer for Bobby, because he carries the torch for everything. His impact has reached international audiences, and it's all focused on this place called Williamsburg that people didn't want to come to because they didn't think that they belonged here. And Bobby had the vision to help us all understand that this is a place based on his ancestors that we all belong.
He has dedicated his entire life to being a community player, but certainly in the last 20 plus years that he's come back to Williamsburg after retiring, Bobby has hit the ground running and been an active participant in all things Williamsburg.
I stand well because I find it's, first of all, it's a lot of fun. Second, I love people.
My great-grandmother taught me this poem, and I'm going to share it here because whenever I am sitting with him in his office at Aromas, it's coming to my mind all the time. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. The wise old owl is a wise old bird. Now, Bobby, I'm not calling you an old bird, but you're definitely a wise owl.
Bobby, congratulations. And on behalf of all of us on Williamsburg City Council, we want to congratulate you and honor you and bestow upon you the Williamsburg Mace Bearers Award.
I never thought I'd get an award for doing something I enjoyed doing. Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of nice to know that people kind of like you.
I think what you see reflected in this video is the legacy Bobby will leave on Williamsburg, and that is of a storyteller and a wonderful citizen. Yes, he can tell a story and tell it well, with a good barb or two thrown in there, of course. I know he gives it to me a lot. But overall, his work on Braxton Court with the Lemon Project, with the Let Freedom Ring Foundation, the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, and so much more is all in service of telling a full story of the city of Williamsburg, preserving that history and making our future better. So we are so pleased that Bobby and his family could join us tonight. And so Bobby, if you would join me at the front of the stage, I'd like to honor you with the Mace Bearers Award.
I get to keep it?
This will be slightly unusual. I have two speeches, one formal, the other informal. The formal one. Mayor, City Council members, and fellow citizens of Williamsburg, I'm deeply honored to receive the Williamsburg Mace Bearers Award. This award means a lot to me, and I'm grateful to the City Council for recognizing my contributions to the community. I would like to thank the City of Williamsburg for providing me with the opportunity to serve the community. I'm proud to be part of a city that values community service and recognizes the contributions of its citizens. I'd like to thank my family, friends, and colleagues for their support and encouragement. Without their help, I would not have been able to make a positive impact on the community. The informal one. This is the nicest thing that's ever happened to me. I think many years ago, now I have a wife, and most of you know her, and you know who runs the family. There are 2 times in our married life that I've told her what we're going to do. One of them, when I bought a motorcycle. The other one, when I told her we were going to move to Williamsburg. She looked at me and said, "What in the world is there to do in Williamsburg?" And I can tell her now, look around. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I really get to keep that? Man.
Well, so we are so pleased that you guys are here, and just want to thank you again for all that you've done for the city. And you do get to keep this, and we're going to go down front, invite your family up, and take some pictures.
Okay.
Okay. So that concludes our event for the evening. And so just really, again, thank you for coming out, being part of what makes Williamsburg so special, recognizing a special citizen. I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.